Yesterday, I was watching a TV documentary on North Korea, and in particular, the political repression that its people faced. North Korea is pretty much shut off from the rest of the world, and information both into the country and from the country is heavily controlled. It's illegal, for instance, to take photographs and videos in public, or listen to foreign broadcasts. However, modern technology is making it harder for despotic regimes to control their population and the information that they received. In no small way is this due to the manufacturing output of North Korea's ally, China. In the same day I watched that documentary, in the mail arrived this item. You might think it was just a normal USB stick, but you'd be wrong. It does a lot more. It's also a digital still camera and digital video camera. The reason for buying it was to do some experiments with kites. I could tie this up to a kite and get some video shots of the surrounding area. We'll try it out later on. The camera was bought off eBay from a local Melbourne supplier. It looks just like a fat USB stick. There are, however, some buttons on both sides. Not supplied with the camera is a micro SD card, which you'll need to use with it. Instructions are supplied, but they're not much good. Other buyers have had similar problems, and there's some great videos on YouTube that tell you how to use this camera, much better than the supplied instructions. Looking at the specs, the video format is AVI, handy for most video editing programs. Some figures are given: 1280 by 960, 1280 by 720, 720 by 480, and 640 by 480 VGA. A frame rate of 30 frames per second is quoted. The picture format for the photos is JPEG 1280 by 1024, although I doubt it's as clear as other similar sized pictures I've seen. The battery capacity is 300 mAh, and they say that gives around 120 minutes of working time. The charging voltage is 5 volts. It's charged from the USB connection in your computer. I'll give some demonstrations, both still pictures and videos, and you'll see and hear for yourself how good or bad it is. Testing the camera on the brick wall. This part of the wall is only about 40 centimeters away from the camera, or a bit less. This test gives you an idea of perspective and distance and the relative clarity of the camera. 10 centimeters away from the wall, 20 centimeters away, 30 or 40 centimeters, 50, around 70 or 80 centimeters away. Very close to the camera, only about 30 centimeters away. Now about 40 or 50 centimeters. Now about an arm's length away. Now around a metre back from the camera. The camera's field is very narrow, so it's not like a wide angle lens, so you're probably only seeing parts of my face. Now around 1.5 metres back from the camera, and further away. This mount should be useful for close-up filming. It's just the camera, some double-sided tape, and a computer microphone. The instructions are useful for one thing, and that's to prove the camera works well at short distances. You could say it was short-sighted. In this case, I'm holding the camera about 20 centimeters away from the instructions. And, as hopefully you can see here, the picture quality is surprisingly good. I'll just vary the distance to give you more of an impression. I should point out I'm using fairly good light. I'm using a bedside light focused on these instructions. And underneath there's a pile of circuit boards. So if you're making a video on electronics or any other thing that requires close-up, then this $15 camera can be surprisingly good.